Hey everybody, good afternoon. Coming you today from my craft room. It's coming close to spring, but we got a little bit of cold weather today, so I don't really know what Mother Nature's planning on doing. But I'm up here working on some treats for this coming Easter. It's right around the corner, so I wanted to get these done and ready for you guys soon. So what I have and what I'm going to be sharing with you today is how to make this treat container from some cardstock and pattern paper, and it's great because I'm filling it with candy, and it's a great thing to give for gifts to family and friends, and I'm going to walk you through how to do that today. So for your supplies, what you're going to need is you're going to need one piece of a good 12 by 12, a good weight cardstock. Then you're going to need just a couple scraps of some pattern paper. I have some of this left over from my Daisy Daisy. And you're going to need a piece of acetate. This is the acetate that we sell through Close to My Heart. You're going to need a piece of the acetate that is basically 5 1/4 by 6 1/4. And this has a film on the back of it, which I'll peel off when I'm ready to use it. So I'm going to put that aside. And I'm going to put my pattern paper aside for now. Now for your tools. What you're going to need is your 12-inch trimmer and a scoring platform or a scoring blade for your trimmer, if you have it, a pair of scissors, and a good strong adhesive tape. I love this adhesive tape from Close to My Heart, and we're going to be using that. And then to embellish it, your pattern paper, but also some fun things. I'm using this Easter Gnomes stamp set from Close to My Heart. I love this. I love gnomes. You guys have seen me work with the gnomes before, and it's always so much fun. So we're going to be working on this today. So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my paper, my cardstock, to 9 inches. And then I am going to rotate that and cut that to, just want to double check my measurements, to 10 1/2 inches. And so we're going to cut that. Now, this will be my main part of my box. I tend to, and if you guys have been following me before, I like to add a little bit of extra cardstock to the bases, to the sides, just to give it a little bit more stability, especially if you're going to fill it like I did with mine. So the 3-inch by 12-inch piece we had left over from our first cut, I'm going to cut that down to just a little shade under 9 inches. And it's 3 inches right now, but I'm going to cut it down just a tear. So to give this, so this will be a piece that it's going to go inside the box along the back of the box, inside back of the box, to give it a little more stability. So what we're going to do, first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our window. So to cut that, and don't worry about the directions on this, because I will make sure that I put a PDF on my blog with all of the cutting directions and how to cut the window out of it and everything. And the only reason I haven't talked yet about the size for the lid is because we're going to use the piece we cut out for our window to cut our piece for our box lid. Let's try to save as much paper as we can. So to cut this, and you can use a ruler to do this however you want. I love being able to use this Fiskars trimmer, and because I have the lines along the measures here as well as along the guide points. So I'm going to first line up my paper. Now this is the 10 1/2 inch side. This is my 9 inch. So I'm on my 10-inch side. I'm going to line it up at 1 1/4. Then I'm going to start to cut from my 1 1/2 inch mark, so right there, down to my 6-inch mark. Okay, so 1 1/2 to 6. See how that works? Then I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees, and then I'm going to put this at 1 1/2. So all of my points, my starting points, are going to coincide with my ending, with my starting points on the end. So we're going to go from basically 9 1/4 here up to 3 3/4. There. Rotate again. And I'm going to have this lined up at 3 3/4. And I'm going to start down here. There. And that's going to start at 7 1/2. And I'm going to work my way up to my 3-inch point. There. And then my last cut is going to be lining this up at 3. And this is going to go from 6 3/4 to my 1 1/4 inch mark. So once I take this out, there's my window. Okay. So I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/8 by 3 1/8. So 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. So now I have my 3 pieces for my box, and then of course I have my acetate for my window. Now I'm going to do my scoring. So I'm going to take my trimmer blade out, scoring blade in, and first I'm just going to quickly score this piece. So I am going to score this at just a hair under 2, and put that aside. This will be inside the box, so I'm going to put that there. My lid, I'm going to score 1/2 inch all the way around. So I'm just going to score this. Okay, there's my lid with my scored pieces. Now my box. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this across, and you can do it opposite me. If you're using a scoring platform, you're just going to line it up and then cut at the marks. I'm going to just move my paper across as I go. So the first score is at, let me just make sure this is lined up, 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to move it over to 2 1/2 inches. Then I'm going to move it over to 5 1/2 inches. Put my arm out here. And the last score here is going to be at 7 1/2 inches. And then I'm going to turn it, and I am going to score it at 2 all the way across. So that's pretty much all you need to do for your scoring. So I can put my trimmer and my scoring blade away. Sorry about the little shake. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my tabs. So basically I'm just going to cut on each of these sides on the lid. So basically I'm just going to create my tabs for my lid. And I'm just going to fold along my score lines. If you have a bone folder, this is a great place to use it. I'm just going to use my nails for now. And one more. So that will be my lid. And then this piece that will be going in the inside back, I'm just going to score there. And then what I'm doing is turning this over and scoring along here, folding along my score lines all the way across. And then I'm going to fold up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up on the bottom. Now this tab here on the leftmost, this 1 inch, 1/2 inch by 2 inch, that's just scrap. We're going to cut that away. These other pieces we're going to cut up to the score line, to the 2 inch score line. So basically those are my scored pieces. Now my adhesive is next. I am going to put adhesive, just got to get to the end of the roll. Where is it? There we go. On this tab here, on our 1/2 inch tab. And then I'm going to put it, oops, always folds back. I'm going to put it across here. I am not going to put any adhesive on this. That's going to be my, because that's the front of my box. I like that to be clean, so I don't put any adhesive on that. And I like that to be the last piece on the outside just to give a clean line. So there. And I'm going to put a couple pieces here. Then on the inside of this, because that's where we're going to hear our acetate to, I'm going to line the window with my score tape. My adhesive tape. So I'm going to just work my way around. I'm getting down to the end of my roll. Hopefully I'll have enough. Oop, just enough. So, okay, I'm gonna put some tape on my little tabs on my here on my box lid. And so there's that. And I'm going to be putting tape on the back of this, but for right now I'm just going to put one piece down. I'm just going to reach around the corner here so that I can grab another roll of my adhesive tape. Pardon me. Thought I might have had enough, but I guess I didn't. So let's get another roll going here. So I'm just going to put a couple pieces on the back of this. So I'm using the back side of this piece. And I'm going to put a couple pieces here. This comes together pretty fast, and I like the fact that it really only uses one piece of cardstock, so you can seriously save your paper, even though we all are paper hoarders, of course. So front side of my bottom of my box, front side of my tabs, back side of my insert, and then on the back side of my window. So I'm going to just make sure these are all down, and I'm going to grab my piece of acetate. First, our acetate comes with this kind of filmy backing. I'm going to remove that, get that out of the way, and now I'm going to adhere my acetate on the inside of the box to create my window. And this could be something that if you wanted to, you could create a shaker effect with this, and to create the window and put some sequins or other shaker pieces inside it, which would be kind of fun. So I'm going to line this up on the inside, and you can use a bone folder. Sometimes I just use my handle of my scissors just to kind of adhere the tape. Now, one thing you'll notice, because we're going to start to assemble this, is the acetate, of course, is pretty firm. I just kind of gently fold it. I don't give it a big crease. I just do a gentle fold to give it a little bit of a crease. I don't want a super crease because I like the look of it being clean without any marks on the window. So there's my window. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start to create my box. I take the tape off my side tab and I bring it around. I tend to do it by lining one edge up. So I start with this bottom corner and I work my way up to here. So that aligns that. Now, because if you look straight in this window, you can see my tab. And it's also, I want to add some strength. So this is where I'm going to take this piece. I'm just going to take the adhesive off of here. And then I'm going to carefully, I'm going to fold that back and I kind of curl it and carefully slide it in. And I use I'm going to use the bottom here as kind of a stopper. And once I get it into point, because this adhesive sticks once you get it in there, I just put that in. It covers that seam, gives a little bit of a better look towards the back. And so it gives it some more stability on the back of the box. Since you have such a large window, I'd like to give the stability. So now I'm going to start working on assembling the base. So I'm going to first take So we're going to do these one at a time. This is from our insert. So I'm just going to take that adhesive backing off. Then I'm going to start with one side, bring that in. Now I often stick my hand up in there just to give it a little bit of a burnish. So I do that, take this adhesive off, repeat the same with the other side piece. Whoops, those adhesive backings stick to your fingers. See, I'm just going to bring that down. Again, I go in, use my hand to push it, then take this adhesive off, and I'm going to bring, this is the piece from the back, bring this in, give it a little bit of a burnish, and then my last piece is bringing my front over, and this just gives it a nice clean line to the box. So now my base of the box, you look at it from the front, there's no seam, your line just goes over. So there's my box base. Now the lid is fairly simple. I'm just moving some, these things get very sticky, I'm just going to take my tab adhesive off my tabs, put that, and then here, oops, and then I'm just going to tuck my tabs under. Oops, I'm sorry if I'm off camera. Sorry, guys. So I'm just taking my tabs, putting them under. So now I have my lid, which just fits on top of my box. So there's the basic box. Then to embellish it, what I did is, out of my scraps of paper, pull that out, I'm going to take my cutting blade back in. I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch wide tall strip, I should say, of this striped paper. This is going to go around the lid. Then I'm going to cut 2 pieces that are 1 inch tall of my pattern paper. So, I mean, you can decorate this however you wanted. I'm just using up some scraps of the Daisy. And so then on the back side of these pieces, I am going to put some of my adhesive tape. And I could use the different size for each of these, but I'm just going to put a piece. And these pieces will fit around all 4 sides of the lid and the box base. So I'm just going to put that here. And then one last piece here. I mean, yeah, you can use this whatever paper you want. This would be good for really any time of the year. So for the lid, I'm going to use this 1/2 inch piece. And I always like starting on the back side of what I'm cutting. What I'm covering, just so that, again, so the front looks clean. I'm just going to work my way around the lip with this. And when I get around the back, it overlaps nicely and gives a clean, covered the lid. Just work my way around with my fingers. So there's my lid. And for my box base, again, I'm going to start on the back side, the base, work my way around, adhering this. And then on the top, now this is I cut this slightly shorter than up here. This is a slightly taller piece. So what I'm going to do is just kind of make sure, kind of eyeball lining it up, so it doesn't go all the way to the top. And that part of it is also where the lid kind of covers it. So I'm just going to work my way around. This basically comes to the edge of my window. And there is my decorated box base and lid. And then what I've done is I've used my Easter Gnomes stamp set, and I stamped this cute little gnome and this sentiment banner, and I stamped it in intense black ink and then colored it in with our tri-blend markers, and all of these will be listed on my blog and in the PDF of directions. You can really use whatever colors you want. And then all I did was using some foam tape, adhere them to it, took some ribbon that I had, tied it in a bow, and added that to the top of the lid. And there you have it, a really cute windowed Easter treat box that you can fill however you want. I think I'm going to be filling mine with a little bit of Easter grass and a chocolate bunny, and maybe some those plastic eggs filled with some treats, as my coworkers usually get to take advantage of all of these little treats available, and I'll be doing those for this year for Easter. I really hope you like this Easter treat box and enjoy making it, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much.